Welcome the students of class 8. Welcome to our social science e-learning class. And today in this social science history class we are going to discuss the exercise questions and answers. And the name of the chapter is When People Rebel, 1857 and After. So it is the chapter number 5 of your history book. So let's begin the chapter, exercise, questions and answers. So the first question is, what was the demand of Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi that was refused by the British? And the answer is, after the death of her husband, Rani Lakshmi Bai wanted to adopt son to be recognized as heir to the kingdom. So that's all from question number 1. Now question number 2. And the question is, what did the British do to protect the interests of those who converted to Christianity? And the answer is, in 1850, a new law allowed an Indian who had converted to Christianity to inherit property of his ancestors. This law made it easier to convert to Christianity. That's all from question number 2. Now question number 3. That what objections did the Sepoys have to the new cartridges that they were asked to? And the answer is, it was rumored that the new cartridges were coated with the fat of cows and pigs. This hurt the sentiments of both the Hindus and the Muslims. So this is the answer of question number 3. Now question number 4. And the question is, how did the last Mughal emperor live the last years of his life? And the answer is, the last Mughal emperor spent the last few years of his life in a jail in Rangoon, present day Myanmar, along with his wife. That's all from question number 4. Now in the next slide we are going to start the question number 5. And the question number 5 is, what could be the reasons for the confidence of the British rulers about their position in India before May 1857? And the answer is, the British become confident about their position in India because of the following reasons. Point number 1. The Mughal rulers after the death of Aurangzeb were not strong and powerful, especially Bahadur Shah Zafar. Hence, it was easier for the British to annex states. Next point, British residents had been stationed in many courts. The freedom of the rulers reduced, their armed forces disbanded, and their revenues and territories were taken away by stages. Point number 3. Within 100 years of assuming the Diwani of Bengal, the British became the unquestioned rulers over a large part of the Indian subcontinent because of their powerful military forces. Point number 4. They got monopoly over trade in the subcontinent and were doing profitable business which was their main objective. So that's all from question number 5. Answer. Next slide, question number 6. And the question is, what impact did Bahadur Shah Zafar support to the rebellion have on the people and the ruling families? And the answer is, the decision by Bahadur Shah Zafar to support the rebellion had boosted the morale of the people and the ruling families and dramatically changed the entire situation. Full stop. Zafar asked all the leaders to form a confederacy to fight against the British. Many small, large kingdoms, rulers and chieftains supported the revolt after his consent. Most of them had been ruling over their territories on behalf of the Mughal ruler. They hoped that if the Mughal ruler could once again resume power, they would also be able to rule their own territories once again. So that's all from question number 6 answer. Now question number 7. And the question is, how did the British succeed in securing the submission of the rebel landowners of Awadh? And the answer is, the British took different methods in securing the submission of the rebel landowners of Awadh. As per the first method, rebel landowners who had killed British personnel were tried and punished in order to threaten the people of Awadh by showing them the upshot of any revolts in future. In the second method, they announced rewards for loyal landholders as tax redemption and decided to allow them to continue to enjoy traditional rights over their lands. Those who had rebelled were told to submit to the British, and if they had not killed any British citizen in India, they would remain safe and their rights and claims to land would not be denied. So this is the answer of question number 7. Now the last question from the exercise, it is the question number 8, and the question is, in what ways did the British change their policies as a result of the rebellion of 1857? And the answer is, some important changes brought by the British after the revolt were: number 1, according to the Act of 1858, powers of the East India Company were transferred to the British Crown in India. All rulers were made to acknowledge British Queen as sovereign paramount and were allowed to pass their kingdoms to their heirs. Number 2, considering the Muslims to be responsible for the rebellion in a big way, the British confiscated their land and property on a large scale. Point number 3, the proportion of Indian soldiers in the army was to be reduced and the number of European soldiers would be increased, and it was also decided that more soldiers would be recruited from among the Gurkhas, Sikhs and Pathans. Number 4, the British decided to respect the religious beliefs and social practices of the people in India. And the last point is, policies were made to protect landlords and zamindars and their rights over their lands. So that's all. That is the 5th point, and these are the 5 points as a result of the rebellion of 1857. So that's all from today's class. I hope you have understood. Thank you for watching. See you in the next class.